Coming up in today's video, I show you my riding routine. We go on the most beautiful trail ride where we have a lot of drama, including spooks, and Joey has an absolute meltdown at some cows.
Hey, you're okay. You're
welcome back to another Groom Tack Up and Ride With Me video. This time we have a helmet cam edition because I know you guys absolutely love these types of videos, especially as you get to kind of see what it's like to ride my horses. And when I tell you, today's ride was an eventful one. We got lost, we had lots of spooks, and Joey had an absolute meltdown at some cows, where I show you how we kind of dealt with that. But anyway, first things first, it's time to get everything ready. As you can see, this was first thing in the morning, bright and early, so I hadn't even mucked out the stables yet, so apologies in advance that the yard and the stables and everywhere is looking a little bit on the messier side. So anyway, the first thing I normally do is get all of my tack ready. So you would have seen I've put my saddle, my bridle, my boots, my helmet, everything in the horse box, and then it's time to grab Mr. Joey himself, who on this particular day was absolutely filthy. Yes, he decided to roll in the muddiest patch. I mean, we haven't had any rain for ages, and then suddenly it's been just pouring it down. So here's me going, Joey, why are you so dirty? Anyway, it was time to take off his fly rug, which at the time of editing this video, feels like it's gone from summer to autumn, so the horses are actually in their New Zealands now, they're waterproof rugs. But anyway, luckily his fly rug, although it's not waterproof, it did actually keep him pretty clean. I mean, the main kind of culprit areas of getting dirty on Joey are his face, his legs. Oh, you can also see that him and Casper, I think they've maybe been play fighting in the paddock, or I don't know what they've been doing, but Joey has got a lovely little scratch just above his eye. I don't know how he's done that. Probably Casper kissing him with his teeth, I don't know, or something on a fence. Anyway, you guys know that Joey is the most accident prone horse. He is now 11, which is absolutely wild. Time has flown by so quickly, but he acts like a baby, so he's always coming in from the field with something. Anyway, luckily this time it was mainly just mud, apart from the little scratch above his eye, so I just give him a groom. And then I'm one of those people where I love to groom my horse's manes. My horses always have the thickest mane. Actually, Joey's right now, I probably need to give it a bit of a trim and a tidy up because it's looking a little bit long for, I was going to say a show jumper. Now, I can't quite call Joey that because we haven't done jumping in ages because of his many different health problems and injuries. But anyway, the exciting news is actually on the day that I am recording this voiceover, I am taking Joey for a show jumping lesson, and we're going out there. Yes, I'm going to film a vlog, so keep your eyes peeled for that coming very, very soon. Oh my goodness, on this day, Joey was just so dusty. There was dust just coming off him absolutely everywhere. Also, this bit here just above his flank, that is the area that definitely gets the most dusty. When he rolls, he definitely likes to scratch his kind of back. Anyway, once he was all nice and clean, and yes, he got lots of pets and attention, it was then time to entice him into the horse box using a bucket full of food. But of course, we had to have a little mouthful of hay before we set off. Also, you might be able to see that Joey is actually wearing his turnout boots. Now, recently we've been traveling in him in his turnout boots because he sometimes walks in normal travel boots like he has a wedgie, or like he's kind of got like a wet nappy on or something like that. I don't know if anybody else's horse does do that. Anyway, we find that when he has turnout boots on, he just feels a little bit more secure. Anyway, here I am with my bucket of food, slowly enticing him in. He actually didn't take that long to get in the horse box at all, like 5 minutes. He's just one of those horses where he likes to have a little look, likes to have a little sniff. You know, he doesn't like to rush to get in. He likes to take his own time, but he does always get in. He's a very good boy. Anyway, then it was time to set off to the forest, which is one of our absolutely favourite places to ride. So you might have a little sneak peek of my dad there in the cab. Anyway, then it is time to quickly open up the horse box because Joey, he can be a little bit impatient. You can see he's getting quite excited in the back because he knows that he's coming out, he's going somewhere I was going to say new, we've been here quite a few times before, although I don't think I've taken Casper here a lot this year, but I don't think I've actually taken Joey to the forest this year. Actually, we've been hacking lots of different other places recently, so it's been a hot minute, it's been a while. You can also see he went to the toilet in the back of the horse box there, so don't worry, we'll tidy that up later on. But anyway, then it's time to unhook him, and oh yeah, one little mouthful of hay before we get off. Food is always priority, as always. And then he has a little look around, a little sniff, and then what does he do? Down for some grass, of course. Once I've let him have a little bit of a nibble, it's then time to take him back over to the horse box and tie him up. Also, when I do this, I quickly go and grab him his hay net, because he's a good boy and he does like to have a little bit of a snack while I get him ready. He's a very, very pampered pony. Anyway, then I just put the horse box ramp up, because knowing Joey, he will move his butt around and accidentally trip over it somehow, because he is, again, a very accident-prone horse. Then it's time to take off his, I was going to say travel boots then, these are his turnout boots, but they're also doubling up as travel boots because they're also very protective. As you can see, they protect a lot of his legs, and I tell you what, they have been doing a very good job lately. Also, you can see Joey's mane blew right into my face. I feel like every equestrian has done that. There's me just moving his butt over because I needed to get into the little side door where I keep his saddle, his bridle, all of my other bits and bobs. It's a little bit messy at the moment, so please do not look too closely. And then here I am putting on some brushing boots on Joey. They are in the brand new Juniper by Lemure, who are very kindly one of my sponsors. They have decked us out in all of the new autumn winter collection, and of course had to go for the matching saddle pad as well. And you might be able to spot that I'm actually using a dressage saddle. Now recently I've actually been like hacking Joey a little bit in our dressage saddle, because when we're hacking, when we're riding, I've been really working on our flat work. I don't know, I love my dressage saddle. I never thought I would be that person, but my dressage saddle is just so comfy. It's like sitting in an armchair. It's got nice big knee rolls. I feel really secure in it, especially subtle foreshadowing some exciting moments that we have later on in today's ride involving some cows. But anyway, once Joey's saddle is on and I've put my boots on as well, it's then time to pop on his bridle. I also wiped away one of his eye bogies. I don't know if anybody else is like this, but when my horses have eye bogies, I always like to clean them out. My dad here very kindly legged me up onto Joey and held him while I was just getting my stuff ready. And then once I'm on, Joey's always gets a little bit excited when I get legged up on, because he knows that he's going out, and as soon as I'm on, he's like, oh okay, I'm good boy, I'll just stand still. Anyway, also those people that we passed, they were so lovely. They said how pretty Joey was, which I feel like it's the biggest compliment ever when you're going for a ride and the general public be like, oh, you have a gorgeous horse, oh, you have a beautiful horse. Anyway, don't tell Joey too much or it'll go to his head. I mean, he is a very pretty horse, especially his dapples at the moment. Oh my goodness, they're so gorgeous. So anyway, starting off on our ride, there were a lot of dogs in the car park. I think they were doing kind of like scent work practice, that kind of thing. So to start off, you might be able to see Joey's ears are going absolutely everywhere, in every single direction, because he was listening to all these dogs barking. Also, came to the conclusion that my normal route that I do with Casper, normally I don't really have to duck too much under the trees, because Casper, bless him, he's a little guy. He's like 14'3", 15 hands. I'd say he's 14'3" with no shoes, 15 hands with shoes. So I'd normally say about 15 hands. Some people really question me about that, because Casper is a Connemara, and oh, there was also a helicopter as well, so Joey was very good with that. But yeah, Casper's a Connemara, and Connemaras, their breed is a pony, and ponies technically should be 14'2" and under. So Casper is an overgrown pony. So let me know in the comments if you think Casper's a horse or a pony because he's 15 hands, or a pony because he's a Connemara. Anyway, by this point of the hack, Joey had settled down a bit. We had a nice warm up, so decided to have a nice big canter up this hill. I often find when I'm on a horse that's a little bit more excited, I like to have our first canter up a hill, just because it's a bit more hard work for them. They're less likely to kind of trip and stumble, especially as you don't want to be cantering down a hill. There was also a huge group of people here that Joey was very nosy at, and then oh my goodness, we have the scariest hole ever that we almost fell down. So well done, Joey, for having a a good hard stare at that hole. And then at the junctions, as always, I like to go back to walk just to make sure that we're not going to run over anybody, because you never know, there are a lot of people and they lurk around the corners and they can be a bit of a jump scare as well. Also, poor Joey, you might be able to see he actually shakes his head quite a bit in today's video. The flies were out today. I mean, they have now all disappeared by the time I've done this voiceover, because it is now autumn. I mean, this day actually I think was probably like the last day of summer. It feels like since then it's been very rainy over here in the UK, which I'm not complaining about. We've needed some rain. I tell you that our fields were very, very dry. We're on clay, so when the fields are dry it kind of feels like concrete. Luckily over here on the forest a lot of it is actually sandstone, so in the winter it actually has really good drainage, so even in the depths of winter with lots and lots of rain, the ground here is really, really good. And also in the summer it just feels a little bit softer compared to what we used to. And then we went down this hill and you can't really see, but on the left in this kind of electric fenced area there were actually some, I'm going to say wild in quotation marks, because they are kind of wild horses in the sense where they have a big area of the forest that they roam around, but I'm pretty sure they are definitely owned by somebody somewhere. I'm pretty sure, I want to say they're Exmoor ponies. I couldn't really tell too much because we weren't very close to them. Here's me trying to film them and of course getting some very cute footage for stories. Now here is where things took a little bit of a turn. Literally, we turned left and I thought, perfect, we can go down here, because on this day I want to take Joey on a slightly longer walk, and then this pathway just kind of disappeared. So anyway, abort mission, we turned around and quickly went in the other direction. So we basically got a bit lost then. I was like, okay, let's go back to our routes, let's go back to the track that I actually know and the route that I actually know, literally. Anyway, so this was a lovely big hill that I decided to have a big canter up. Again, doing hill work for your horses is incredible. It really helps them with their hind end, build up those muscles, and of course if you're cantering up a hill as well, you're doing even harder work. Also, this bit here, look how pretty the heather is. Basically that whole, it's just blanketed in purple. It's such a pretty colour. I absolutely love this time of year. Yes, I think I have to say early autumn is probably my favourite season, or also late spring as well. That's a close maybe second, or maybe they're at par with each other. Anyway, then when I get to the top of the hill, of course, go back down to walk, because I need to check to make sure that there are no scary dogs running about. You might have seen, I think that was maybe one of the, no, that was with Casper. There was a dog that literally just ran out straight in front of us and scared the living daylights out of us. Also, this is one of my favourite views of the forest. Like, how pretty is that? Even Joey likes to look at the view. I mean, Joey is a very nosy horse. When I take him for rides around the village, he's the sort of horse that will look at everybody's houses. He will look over the hedges to look into their garden. I'm not even kidding. This horse, if anything is happening, he wants to be part of the drama. I mean, Joey, like, his middle name is drama, honestly. Anyway, then we went past a little dog that was very, very sweet. Luckily, all of my horses are very good with dogs, because there are a lot of dog walkers on the forest, and there's actually been quite a few times where there's been people with puppies that have never seen a horse before. So I've always been very good, and like sometimes I'm like, oh, do you want to bring them up to him and say hello and just make your dog, you know, horse friendly, and make sure that they get used to horses, because there are actually quite a few horse riders on the forest that we sometimes see. We didn't actually see any today. I was very lucky that this was a very chilled, I think it was a Thursday morning or something like that. Here was another cute little dog, but we went in the other direction, so we didn't get to say hello. Although Joey does, he loves saying hello to dogs, he loves saying hello to people. Again, he's definitely an extrovert. He is a people person. If there's attention, he wants it. Again, there was a lot of ducking. Also, this tree on the left was so pretty. It really made me think, okay, autumn is here. This part of the forest was really starting to go orange. I really want to take Joey back here at some stage when the leaves really turn, because it is absolutely gorgeous. This part of the forest I haven't actually taken the horses to in quite a while, just because it's a little bit further out from the car park, but because I was like, okay Joey, we're going on a long ride today, we're going out for the whole morning, we managed to come around here and it was just so pretty. Like, this bit here, this feels like where fairies would live, you know? It's just so magical, and because it's also quite far away from a lot of the car parks, it's also a very quiet part of the forest as well, so we could go a little bit faster. As you can see, Joey was just having an absolute blast. He was having so much fun. Again, went back to walk for the junctions because you never know. Now, so far through this ride, I thought, oh, this has been a really good ride, nice and peaceful, haven't had any drama apart from that one hole that Joey kind of spooked at that he thought was going to swallow him up. This bit here, honestly, I was like, this is the most magical feeling. Although these holly trees, there were a few times where I thought, oh, I am going to get prickled by them. So there were a few times where I was like, okay, Joey, we need to go back to walk here because you are 16'1", 16'2", and you're a little bit taller than Casper. So these next couple of clips, there was a lot of me ducking under trees, which I'm not gonna lie, does anybody else actually quite like ducking under trees? Because you kind of, it feels like you're giving your horse a big hug. Anyway, this tree came along and I really had to do some mathematical calculations in my head about if we should go round it or if we should go under it. Anyway, Joey was a very good boy and we did actually manage to go under. I thought he was going to be a little bit spookier at that, or maybe not even want to go under it, but he just went straight under it like such a good boy. And then yeah, we just carried on trotting along on our ride. We also had a little canter because the ground here was so good. I did get a little bit battered by trees, but that's fine, it was worth it. I did go back to trot here because I thought, oh, there's another holly tree and I really don't want to get scratched up by that. And of course I got my phone out because your girl, she is always getting content for social media. Even with my helmet cam on, I thought I'd get a few clips on my phone as well. So yes, as I was saying, this part of the ride was lovely and chilled. We were having a brilliant time. Joey was so happy, relaxed, but I spoke too soon in my head. I thought, oh, this ride's been beautiful, it's been perfect. Because as we went around the corner, as we were almost home, we came across the most terrifying thing ever. A herd of cows lying down. So I've actually kept in the clips of me talking to Joey so I can show you how I managed this interaction.
You're a big brave boy and we're going to go around this way. So big and so brave. Hey. You're okay. It's just a cow. Hey. Hey. You're okay. You're okay. It's a cow and you are a big scary horse. Can we go walk on? Walk on. I know. Walk on. You can do it. So good. So good. So good. So good. Okay, we're gonna have to go this way, baby. This way. Oh, so good. You're almost there. Good boy. Okay. We're gonna go forward. Forward. Good job. So good. You're okay.
As you can see throughout this whole interaction with the cows, I kept myself nice and calm and confident as well. I feel like when your horse is freaking out at something or nervous at something, it's really easy for you to feel anxious and nervous as well. So I made sure that I was calm, confident, and kept asking Joey the question, walk forward, and then when he did, I gave him a lot of praise, saying what a good boy he was, and really gave him that confidence to go past the cows. It really goes to show how Joey and I, we've been in a partnership for over 5 years now, and he really does have that trust in me. So if you ever get into a situation while you're hacking, especially if you're alone, just take a deep breath, think calm, confident, and hopefully your horse will have that trust in you to go past the scary thing or to calm down as well. So here we saw some more cows, but luckily Joey didn't have a meltdown at them. They were far enough away and they were also in the trees. We also got absolutely soaked on our ride as well, which is just typical because it was right at the end of the ride that it just decided to pelt it down with rain. Now, I've done a lot of these groom tack up and ride with me kind of like helmet cam videos over the years, and I think this might actually be the first one where we've ever actually got rained on or got wet, so I apologise that the camera does have a few little watermarks there, but luckily we zoomed by and I think quite a lot of the watermarks just came off with with our speed. Also, this part of the forest started to get a little bit busier as we were getting closer to the car park. Also, whenever I go past any general public, even if they aren't walking a dog, I always just go back to walk, just as kind of like a polite kind of thing. I never want to come across as one of those kind of like stuck up horse riders that just zoom past everyone feeling like they own the pathways or own the trails. So I don't normally say hi or like enjoy your walk or that kind of thing. So then we tucked ourselves into the sort of pine forest area here, where we had a lovely little canter where the ground is a little bit softer, and then quickly went back to trot as the pathway did get a little bit narrower. Again, Joey is that much bigger than Casper, being about 16'1", 16'2" hands. So this part of the forest, yeah, we went a bit slower because again, there's a lot of trees with a lot of branches. Now, some of the trails around here, I don't actually know how much of them are actually proper pathways. Like that one there, it might actually be a deer path that deer have kind of just like worn away over time. Also, it was so funny because we were almost back at the car park, and because I haven't really taken Joey around this part of the forest before, he was so confused, bless him. You can see him here, he keeps looking to the right, and I think that's him saying like, Mum, isn't this way the way home? Like he kept looking around being like, I want to go this way, and I was like, no Joey, that's not the way. And then when I was asking him to go to the left, which is the way home, he kept going so slowly, and he kept being like, girl, where are you taking me? I think he thought that I was like kidnapping him and just we were just gonna stay out in the forest forever, or I couldn't tell if that was the situation, or he knew that this was the way home and he was like, no, I don't want to go home yet, I'm having so much fun. He also looked at this van over there and was like, is that the horse box? I think he kept looking out. It was so sweet. I mean, as I said before, he is a very nosy horse. I think here is when he spotted the horse box and was like, oh, okay, we're back home now, I know where we are. So anyway, of course, as soon as we got back to the horse box, straight into the hay net Joey's nose was. My dad, as you can see, very kindly helped me get Joey untacked and everything. He also got like a tiny little cut on one of his hooves, so I gave that a big clean up. Not that it was like huge or anything, but you guys know Joey, I don't know how he does these things. Anyway, back on were the boots, and that was our ride. So everybody, I just want to say a huge thank you for watching today's groom tack up and ride with me video, where we had a little bit of a meltdown at the cows. As always, I like to show you guys the reality of horses, and things don't always go perfectly, but honestly, I was so proud of Joey for being so brave, going past those cows and trusting me. So anyway, thank you so much for watching today's video. If you're new or have not done so already, please like and subscribe, as it really does help me out and I really do appreciate it, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!